All right, people. So we're gonna be reacting to Night is Not as Bad as You Think. Critique, correction, and highlights. And you know the drill. Don't be crazy. This is all differences in opinion. And with that being said, subscribe to the person that made it. Subscribe to Fred. So yeah, let's get it going. Fred, you opened up with.
There's too many nuances in his kit that can end up just fucking over the entire team, if not just him.
Ew.
So because of that, for me personally, I don't like him. I think he's bad right now, genuinely speaking. He has his little niches, but I don't want inconsistent niche. I would rather a character that's mediocre.
Uh-huh. You just had to open up with a clip, huh?
Hi, hello. Please don't mind the dramatic intro. I did it for fun. But
I know you
anyways,
did.
I'm
I
Brad,
know you
why
did.
me, however and whatever you choose to label me.
Wait, what was that?
And I wanted to drop by and argue the counterpoint as to why Knight isn't bad or as terrible or as weak as you might think.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I'll be going over segments of Zeus, his newish video where he's playtesting the new character,
Mm-hmm.
and give feedback and make correction with statements made towards the character.
Oh, that was a nice transition.
So you didn't get that one.
So I just went.
Got the same bonnet on and
cool
everything.
Oh, because I swung and you did stalemate.
That's not true, actually.
Do we want me to move my camera? Do you guys want to see like past Zeus and then me just on the side or no? Do we want me to like move it or like yes? Yes? Okay. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, yeah, doubles, doubled up. Actually, I could also just put myself down here. Kind of shit. I could put myself down here. Yeah, even though I got the same fucking bonnet on. Okay.
He didn't make a second prediction, so when you swung and then it was the wrong prediction, that was the only prediction that he made. He never made a second prediction,
Okay,
most likely
okay.
because he didn't pay attention to the fact that you only have a brief window after you
Mm-hmm.
made your first prediction to make
Talk
a
to
second
him.
prediction. I'll explain
Okay.
more on that later, but the gist is, the reason there wasn't a second prediction wasn't because he swung and stalemated. It's because he made a ability block or ability prediction and made no other prediction afterward. If he made a stalemate prediction, he would have been given a speed boost and the shield on top of that.
Destroy him, basically.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you see like how this is his third usage, by the way. This is his third usage.
Okay, so that was just the knight misusing his ability big time. So he made two predictions. Presumably both predictions were probably attack. If not, you can assume the very first prediction was attack. So obviously Zeus didn't swing there because it would be stupid of him to. But for some reason the knight just stood around the window for some reason instead of vaulting, like, you know, the moment he got to the window. And then on top of that, if he made a stalemate prediction the second time instead of going attack prediction first and then probably either ability prediction second or attack prediction second, point is that in that situation right there at the window, he should have done attack prediction and do stalemate. This is something that I want to not drill, but it's something I want to repeat myself because I want to get this through. But stalemate, use it. It's a really good prediction tool for when the hunter isn't too close enough to where a swing would be possible, but you also still want to make distance from being able to keep yourself away. So
is this someone reacting to your video? This is one of my friends.
For attack prediction first, vault the window without hesitation.
Fred is also a professional yapper.
So even when Zeus waits out the entire prediction phase, he still gets a speed boost that he can use to make distance.
Okay. Yeah.
Was that an ability seal or an attack seal?
Attack seal. All I can do is just swing out.
This is just more of a nitpick. It's not like a counterpoint. Oh no, you're so good. It's just a nitpick I had. But what Zeus could have done in that situation to ignore the attack prediction, because most knights, at least from the start, are going to be doing attack predictions because they feel that's the smartest choice. When generally most of the time it's not the best decision to make. But then again, it really depends. But that's the point. What he could have done instead of swinging there and giving knight the speed boost to go to carpet is he could have just dashed to a shadow that was across the pallet that was thrown. So he would ignore the attack prediction, and then in that situation, with how patient the knight was being with his ability usage, it's more often than not in that specific case where he was basically like letting Zeus get close enough for a hit just for him to block it. It's most likely going to be an attack block. So you just jump to another shadow, so you ignore it, and you're good.
Okay. Yo, you got the fancy transitions.
What?
Okay.
So what the knight could have done in that situation, in order to prevent the hit, or at least prevent an entire full damaged hit, is just make a stalemate prediction. It's obvious, like at this point, it's just a pattern that Zeus waits out the entire prediction phase, because that's what he believed the counterplay is. Although it's not as much as he thinks it is, because the knight isn't capitalizing on the fact that he's constantly waiting out the prediction phase. Right there, what the knight could have done in order to either guarantee the pallet swing, or not the pallet swing, but the pallet throw, or at least guarantee that he wouldn't take full damage, is make the stalemate call. Because as you
My only thing for this is aren't the predictions in order? Doesn't it just like so say I wait out the first prediction because they're back to back and they're roughly in the same time frame. Once the first prediction goes away, can't I then just swing and then fuck up the second prediction? Because it runs on different time frames. Like, what was it?
capitalizing on the fact that he leaves the
Jesus
type
Christ, Fred, you really yap. So there's number one. Does he do it here? He doesn't do it here, so. But
What?
no.
like a counterplay is out.
Oh, hi, Fred.
That was it. Make a stalemate prediction.
Both predictions are the same 8-second window, even if you delay them.
Away from whoever they're chasing.
Okay, so that's interesting to see.
Well, chat, as you can see, he used 2 of his abilities. I said I'm not gonna do anything, and I win.
Well,
so.
Okay, so if you lose sight of the hunter, the helmet just automatically goes away.
Wait, really?
No, really, it doesn't work like that. All that
Oh.
matters for the knight in order to make his first and second prediction is that as long as the hunter is within your range, it doesn't matter whether you can see them, whether they're behind a wall, or whether they're in the open. All that matters is that they're close enough to the knight so that he can make his predictions.
No.
I think the reason
Fred
why
is a comedic
the knight
genius.
thought that he
Okay.
could make a second prediction or that it went away because Zeus quote unquote went out of line of sight was because he tried making his second prediction when the window for that went away. Because again, you have
8
the
seconds.
entire prediction phase lasts for about 8 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You make your first
Which I
prediction,
don't like.
and then for the next 4 seconds, you're allowed to make a second prediction. Or at least I think it's 4 seconds. Point is that you have a brief window after making your first prediction to make
Ha, fraud. You don't fucking know. Ha, fraud.
your second. If you wait too long, you won't be able to make a second prediction. And I think that's why the knight wasn't able to make a prediction there.
Well, chat,
Why are you
as can
reacting
see,
to yourself? No, one of my friends made a video like using my stream as like thing, as whatchamacallit,
2 of his
as
abilities. I said I'm
points.
not gonna do anything, and I win. So.
That is also untrue. The knight only made 1 prediction after presuming he couldn't make a second because you were quote unquote out of line of sight. And 2, it's not I don't play your whole prediction minigame and I win automatically. That's not how a knight works. He can capitalize off of that too. Albeit it does need a bit of buffs at least. But my point is that the whole I just ignore the whole prediction phase and I win just doesn't apply. Because
We'll
again,
see.
the knight could have made a second prediction, maybe that would have intimidated Zeus, and then he could have just vaulted in front of his face. But no, the knight decided to wait at the window until his prediction went away and then vaults. And then on top of that, he could have made distance if he went anywhere else by making a stalemate prediction and just continuously holding W or forward. So no, waiting out the knight's prediction phase isn't guaranteed to be a viable counterplay to him.
However, it's better than playing into his bullshit. Because waiting out the prediction phase, in my opinion, from what I've tested with, it takes less time than playing the mind game of, well, I'm a swing or something, blatantly speaking. Like, waiting it out does better, because even if he gets the half damage speed boost, blah, 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 the shield still only lasts 4 seconds anyway. So overall, you're saving more time, assuming you're playing, the meta, and you're not playing some shitty character like Ripper, who was obviously going to get kited to hell. Like, if you're playing the characters that are good to use, then there's a good shot that just waiting out the 8 seconds overall will still be more beneficial than trying to play into the mind game.
Nor is it as effective as Zeus thinks it is. And again, there's nothing. This is nothing against him, and it's nothing against the knight player that he had, showcasing the character. Because again, these are first impressions.
We don't talk about Ripper.
They're playtesting characters, and they're basically brand new when it comes to using him and figuring out ways to do counterplay against him. So I don't hold anything against these people at all. So don't think I'm being aggressive or that I'm being overly nitpicky. It's just more so I'm making corrections so that people don't get the wrong idea or make.
He's trying to do what I do. He's making sure misinformation is not spread, which I respect. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. I'm not immune to critiques, and I like this.
The wrong assumptions about Knight because the playtesting wasn't as thorough as it could have been.
Can't he force the 100 against Ivy if the Ivy decides to give him the shield? If you predict the stalemate, but if you don't,
the shield only lasts for like 4 seconds with
it's
the
a 4-second
thing,
shield.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way of being able to force your corruption against Ivy to peak and survive, but I'm pretty sure that's not the way the viewer was suggesting. The way they were suggesting was that you predict attack twice, and then you allow yourself to reach 100 corruption and start walking towards the Ivy. That's what they meant, and to answer that question, yes, you absolutely can. If you make 2 attack predictions with Knight, and then not a second later, turn around and allow yourself to have your corruption max out, there's nothing she can do to hit you within that window that you're stunned. Or that
fair.
that you're stunned. Because if she uses her ability to ignore the first attack prediction, guess what? There's a second one. So
type shit.
She can't do anything. She can't spam any abilities.
Doesn't swapping to the Yith count as an ability though?
Off the you can just make your first prediction ability based.
Because I know in the stream I was wrong. The Yith and the Yith and Ivy, the main body, they're linked. They are linked to one another.
That way, she can't spam like peepers or whatever spammable ability there is, so that she can eat through your predictions. So yes, you absolutely.
The thing with stalemate Wu Chang Fang is that every meta hunter decently is otherwise every other meta hunter that can do anything speeds up and catches. Nightwatch doesn't care because he'll just catch up. Opera doesn't care because she'll just catch up. Ivy doesn't care because she'll just catch up. Goatman doesn't care because he'll just catch up. Wax artists will just wax and stall out. Like there's a lot of nuance.
Absolutely can get maxed out corruption and survive with
A
Knight.
good one.
Yo, I watched sucks.
Mix up. So practically, you selected the attack thing. I used my wind walk, so because you got it wrong, your ability immediately got cut off. Which so again, which really sucks. Which is why I said it's like against hunters that have mix-ups, you can't do shit.
Yes and no. Again, people might be telling me, why are you making this video, or why are you being so nitpicky about this and correcting every single mistake?
It doesn't.
Both sides are arguably making. It's because
That's
when
fair,
people make
Fred.
definitive
That's fair,
statements
yeah.
like this, or at least statements that sound definitive and give people the wrong impression, it just rubs me the wrong way, and I just have a desire to correct it. Find me annoying, but that's just how I am. And
Yeah.
this statement about how against hunters who have multiple abilities they can spam, Knight is just fucked. It's a yes and no. It goes both ways. If Knight predicted that you would use an ability instead of an attack first thing, you would have used your Windwalk. It would have been blocked, and then if he made a second attack prediction, he would basically be untouchable for the rest of the duration of the prediction phase, because the ability block lasts for 6 seconds, which is nearly the entire duration of the prediction phase. And basically, if you just guess ability first, get it right, whatever second, and then make a second attack prediction, you are basically untouchable. But
that's what I don't like though. I gotta coin flip. I gotta pray that the hunter it's guess what's in my head, and I just don't like that. I don't like playing guess what's in my head with characters. I want characters to do what they need to do. Because when I'm in a tight spot, and then if I lose a 50-50 on something, like I'm literally like I'm summoning on a HSR banner playing this character, trying to win the 50-50 every time. And when I lose, I'm gonna get upset because now it's like, well, all I could do was toss my hands up in the air and pray.
If you make the correct ability prediction.
The only person that will use this character is Hakari. That's it.
First, because obviously if the hunter catches on that you're making a first ability prediction, they'll swing instead. So it's a back and forth kind of thing. But against certain hunters like Nightwatch or Wax, you can try doing it very quick. Go behind a wall, make the prediction as you're moving back into line of sight, and then they'll be baited into using their ability. They'll be blocked, and then you can make an attack prediction, and you basically are just untouchable. So that's my counterpoint.
Wax.
I did.
Oh, so if I'm already shooting it doesn't matter.
So this character's
Wait, that means that's for every ability. If any hunter's already using their ability, it doesn't matter.
all active.
This could probably only apply to Wax Artist, and I just dragged it. He's probably gonna say that, right? Do I know Fred enough?
This character is
might be
This character is cheese.
Knight can't block an ability that's in usage the same.
Y'all don't play for fun? No, I play to win. Winning is fun. Winning is fun.
way, Knight can't block an ability or an attack that's already incoming. So if you're swinging and you make an attack prediction, he can't block it. If you are using an ability like Wax's Wax, he can't block it because Knight is not meant to be a reactive character. Now, is that in any way to defend the fact that he can't make, he can't reactively predict? No. I think they should add some buffer period to when you make a prediction so that
Yes, please make him a reactionary character. Please. You understand? If he was this is him right now. If he's reactionary, the stock increases. The stock increases. I was saying this since day one. If he becomes reactionary, oh my god, the stock increases. He'd be so broken if he was fucking reactionary. Because once you see the swing happen, you swipe on that attack prediction. Like, it'd be so amazing.
If the hunter does an action the same time you predict said action, it doesn't cuck you and ruin you. But back to my main point.
Also, yeah, guys, Fred can edit better than me. If we couldn't tell already. Fred edits better than I do. I need editing tips from Fred.
Does that make him bad against particular hunters that are ability reliant, like Wax Artist? No, not at all. I don't think it makes him bad against Wax Artist because all you have to do then is just make it so that you make Wax stop using his Wax by breaking line of sight, and then when you're gonna transition someplace open again, use the ability block. And if he tries using his ability, boom, he can't use it anymore for the next 6 seconds. Basically the entire duration of the prediction phase. And then afterward, do an attack prediction so that if he gets close enough to hit you, he can't. And if he's not close enough to hit you, do a stalemate so you get even more distance on top of that. That's what you do against these particular hunters. You make them stop using their ability. Then when you go to transition or do something that would force them to use their ability again, like with Wax, just predict they're going to use their ability behind the wall before you show yourself again, and then you're fine, you're clear. And if you want to make it extra safe, fuck it, predict they're going to use ability twice or something. Although I wouldn't generally recommend that.
Oh, he's just.
And then the rest of the segment has nothing to do with Zeus. It's just more so answering the questions some people have, or maybe some tips and advice people want when playing as and against Knight. Because some people might be wondering, okay, you said all that, you talked about it. What was the point? Like, where's the arguing or proving that Knight isn't as niche or as bad as some people say he is? Besides doing one part of disproving some of the misinformation and claims people made about him, the rest of this segment is just showing instances where Knight really made a difference with his ability and showing what he is capable of. Are these matches cherry-picked? Yes, but in the sense that it displays his capabilities and
do I hear myself?
His usefulness. Obviously, I will include matches where I lose with him, but
so is he trash or not? I still think he sucks.
Majority of the matches
he needs a buff.
Him wasn't because Knight wasn't good enough for the situation or what was.
And again, let me say, just because he sucks doesn't mean he's not usable. He has his niches. He can fit a niche, but fitting a niche does not make you good. I really want people to understand that. Fitting a niche does not make you a good character.
Needed of the match in order to win, but it was because my team was crumbling, and ultimately the Hunters was just snowballing too hard for my team to catch up with. Because keep in mind, I was playing quick match, so I'm not playing with pre-made teams. So yeah, the rest of this is just showing you what Knight is capable of, tips and advice, and that's it. I was decoding middle of church. I saw Priestess come in, so I decided to move in and do an attack prediction because ultimately, what can the Wu Chang do, ability-wise, that would ignore the attack prediction? Nothing, because all of his abilities are currently on cooldown because he just.
And he is a low presence Wu Chang.
The umbrella. So this is an instance.
The biggest issue I had with him is just lack of consistency. That's literally my issue.
Of Knight
like, I don't like inconsistency at all. Knight, don't get it twisted. Knight is going to see usage. He will see usage, but he's not going to see usage because of his kiting. He's going to see usage because that rescue ability is broken. That's why he's going to see usage. Because that rescue ability is broken.
Good.
This music is fire. Okay, type shit. Can't do anything aside from that. And then he did a seal. Is this just kiting montage now? Oh, this is just all montage shit. Okay, well then the videos that I'm sorry, Fred. I love you, but I'm not gonna watch through like 50 entire montages. We're just gonna skip right to thoughts and buffs.
So what would be my consensus, or at least?
Is that copyrighted music? Yo! Is that copyrighted music I heard? Yo. Yo. I'ma pray to God that because it's sped up, it's not gonna be counted.
As their impressions were. First impressions of Knight. Or the you in background gameplay is just embarrassing. But what are my thoughts? I think Knight, albeit needing of buffs, is a pretty good to decent character. I think he's at least decent, and then at his best case scenario, I think he's pretty good. And again, I'm talking from a rank point perspective because I know hardly anything about tournament, mainly because I haven't really found an interest to get into it as of late.
Understandable.
But
Good
yeah,
control
I think
spread.
Knight, if I had to place him on tier list, I'd place him someplace in B in the best case scenario. I'd place him someplace A minus, maybe A if I'm feeling generous. Then again, I feel generous with most of my placements anyway. But yeah, I think Knight is a pretty decent character. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's weak. I don't think he's as niche or as inconsistent as everyone claims he is because of the whole, oh, you have to gamble what the hunter's gonna do. Yes, but there are a ton of context clues and things that you can do in order to lean the odds into your favor. You know?
So that right there, though, again, it still falls into the same problem. There are characters that can do it at 100% versus the character that can maybe do it at 70%. Acrobat has a guaranteed seal with the red ball, has a guaranteed movement speed debuff with the mud ball, with the black ball. Mercenary can guaranteed still rescue because he can eat a terror shock at the chair. The nuance, like that's why I don't really like nuances. Because when for me, when I see a character that needs to have nuance, that's already a red flag of, well, okay, the character's not going to perform as well as I need them to, because now it's going to be a game of, it's going to be, a coin flip. It's going to be, well, pray, So it's like I understand you can obviously, like, if you have the game sense, you can then increase the odds, but increasing the odds still leaves room for failure. And at the end of the day, if you can still fail versus the characters that will not fail at all, which would you really want to play, like, and prefer? Then again, obviously, tournament lens, all I care about is tournament and nothing else. I don't give a fuck about ranked.
And then on top of that, sorry, yawn. And then on top of that, I'm not saying he doesn't need buffs. He does need buffs, and I would highly like if netease gave him buffs, because he does kind of deserve some. Because even though I'm calling him pretty decent and good and not labeling him as weak, he still in need of buffs.
Yes.
What buffs would I give him, you may ask? The buffs I would give him would be something along the sorts of make it so that when he makes a prediction, there's like some buffer window before, like maybe a couple milliseconds before the prediction. So like, let's say that I make an attack prediction from the hunter, and they swing. What the fuck is Lori doing here? What is going on here? Anyways, I'm getting distracted. So if I had to buff the attack prediction, I would make it so there's a buffer window, so that let's say the hunter and let's say I make an attack prediction and the hunter swings the exact same time I made that prediction. I'm pretty sure the attack block isn't going to go through because technically the hunter made the attack before I made the prediction, even though we did it at the same time, right? I want them to add a buffer, so like 0.3 seconds or 0.5 seconds or however many seconds you want to be, albeit keep it milliseconds.
Mobile ad
so like, if I make an attack prediction, if the hunter starts swinging 0.5 seconds even before I start that attack prediction, like a buffer, it'll still count, and it'll still count for the attack block. That way, so that even like because I've had like a good amount of instances yesterday where
Fred, you're yapping.
You're yapping. But it wouldn't go through because the hunter would swing at the exact moment I made that prediction, and it was really frustrating, like extremely frustrating. Because it's like, what do you mean? I made the attack prediction. Why am I being punished for it? But regardless, that would happen, and then it just felt like I wasn't being rewarded, even though I was predicting, quote unquote. So I want them to add a buffer. I want them to increase the movement speed of the stalemate from 4 to 6, increase the duration, and if not that, I don't know, it's just either increase the movement speed bonus to like 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds, or make the shield last from the stalemate from 4 to 6 seconds. because it needs to be longer. It's a little too short at the moment. Because unless you have an exact plan of where you're gonna go, when you're gonna go, and if you're not, if you don't have pinpoint precision, you're not guaranteed to make it anywhere, even with the stalemate.
Why would you rescue when he has full? Why would you rescue when he has full?
Or increase the movement speed by an extra half a second. What else? Oh yeah, and then you could propose the idea of making his helmets rechargeable. Make them recharge like every minute or minute and a half. But it's either buff him in these other aspects, like
Chat,
like
remember
buffing
these
his
are
shield
low
duration,
tiers.
buffing his,
These are low tiers.
movement speed increase. It's either do that to make what few effects he has even stronger, or make his helmet rechargeable to compensate for the fact that the effects are not necessarily like incredibly strong.
Please make it rechargeable.
Or
Yes.
guaranteed to be strong. So yeah, that's how I would buff Knight. As for the show of sympathy, I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. I would not change it in any way, shape, or form. Except maybe if you want to change it, I would say probably increase the range by a little bit, or make the protection last an extra 2 seconds. But I wouldn't change it. I think.
I wouldn't change the rescuing either.
Those are my opinions on Knight. I hope I changed your mind on a couple things. And then
No.
let me reiterate this again. This is not to send any hate towards Zeus and then anyone else who was featured in his video. This was merely just a video for critique, because I saw his video and I saw his stream and I was like, I don't really agree with some of this stuff, especially after playing Knight myself yesterday. So I just wanted to give a second opinion and then correct on some misinformation that was spread in his video. And it's not,
the music's really coming through.
It's just,
I'm hoping that because it's sped
and again,
up.
these are first impressions, and they're just now testing the character, so there's bound to be mistakes like that. But I just wanted to correct them, not out of malice, or out of like pettiness of like, I'm right and you're wrong, but it's more so just to correct them, and so people get the truth and have a good formulated opinion on this character. Because at the end of the day, I didn't make this video so that people would like the Knight or think he's good the same way I do. I just want people to have good judgment on his character and kit, So yeah, that's my whole thing with Knight. Oh, and one more thing. Before the people ask, like, why did I target Zeus so much? Like, there's Z's who made his videos. Well, one, Zeus is an easier target because he's a friend of mine. So Zeus knows that anything I say isn't personal because we've been friends for about 4 years now. And two or three, I forget which point I'm making.
What is this banger? Hold on, chat. Do we hear this banger?
I'm going to push my luck with criticizing anything. Is it V? Z?
Okay, well, he's just yapping about shit, but do we hear the banger? Hold on. Listen, so we yeah. It's been fun, but now I got to go. Make it slow. There's no. When can we do it again? Yo, the banger. W video, Fred.